cranberry. This is a wonderful classic example of food as medicine. Cranberries are highly nutritious, they're delicious, and they are quite famous for preventing urinary tract infections. And I thought we'd dive into this a little bit because there's some misunderstanding about how to use them to gain the benefit that you want. They have a lot of other medicinal properties, surprising ones. You might want to visit our website at whiterabbitinstituteofhealing.com to find out more about them. But here we're going to kind of do a little bit of a deep dive into their bladder supporting functions. So we're talking about Vaccinium macrocarpon. That is your cranberry. And from a traditional Chinese medicine perspective, they're said to remove toxins from the blood. This will include everything from the natural toxicities that can build up in your system, from digestive processes to stress. You get the idea. Environmental toxins, viruses, bacteria, funguses, yeast, molds. You get the idea. So keeping that cleansed is going to go a long way to helping prevent any kind of infection in your body. They're said to dissolve kidney stones. So again, you get this bladder-kidney connection here. And clear heat. Heat in traditional Chinese medicine, especially as it's related to the bladder, this can become, things can become too dry. Again, creating irritation, creating inflammation, setting the stage for unwanted infection. From a Western standpoint, we're looking at being anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, vasodilation, diuretic, helps you urinate. Not always pleasant when you have a urinary tract infection, but critical to keeping the system flushed. And, of course, powerful antioxidant. So unsweetened cranberry juice has been used for centuries to protect the urinary system, and that unsweetened is really critical. Sugar feeds the bacterial infection, and most urinary tract infections are bacterial infections caused by E. coli. I bet some of you didn't know that. So there you go. E. coli is a real stage setter for bladder and infections. And what happens is that the cranberry fights bacterial infection by literally coating the bladder and the urethral mucosa. So in this way, they make in the urine more acid. Bacteria doesn't like acid environments, so it naturally can't take hold. In a system that isn't balanced, in particular in this area, and by the way, it's almost like 1 in 4, 1 in 5 women are likely to have at least one urinary tract infection in their lifetime. Men can get them as well, but women are far more prone to this affliction. The elderly can be very prone, those wearing catheters, those that have had injuries, certain medications. All kinds of life events can set you up for being vulnerable, and especially this getting your pH balance off. So the power of cranberry is, and even urologists will recommend cranberry tablets to prevent bladder infections. So tablets, the unsweetened juice, and you don't need tons of it. Add a tablespoon or two to some bubbly water, for example. It's a really wonderful drink. They're bitter and sour. It can move you away from that sugar fix, but it helps create this acid environment so that bacteria cannot take hold. And that goes a long way. And that includes eating cranberries. Just ingesting them will also help. They're one of the highest oxygen radical absorbing of all the berries. So being able to absorb free radicals is another way of saying prevent inflammations, prevent cancers, prevent, the dynamic that can get set up where your system becomes weak. So their superpower is in being preventative. If you already have a urinary tract infection, by all means take advantage of cranberry juice. But what you're going to find is you might be frustrated feeling like it didn't cure me right away. Its strength lies in preventing this becoming chronic and in helping it flush out. But you're going to want to use some other herbs to help get rid of that bladder infection. Don't say, therefore, cranberries don't work. You start integrating them, especially if you're prone or you're vulnerable. Again, elderly, been sick, had a bunch of surgeries, catheterizing. Women, get some cranberry into your daily diet. It's high nutrition. They're delicious. and they go a long way to helping prevent urinary tract infections, which are not pleasant, let me tell you. Visit our website at whiterabbitinstituteofhealing.com and find out more about this amazing food as medicine.